The US News and World Report just named Nurse Practitioner as the #1 job in 2026. So apparently this is the third year in the row that Nurse Practitioner has been named #1 best job on this website. This is the first time I've heard about this list, so I was like really surprised that Nurse Practitioner was #1. So I just wanted to do a video sharing like my reaction to the article. I'm just as curious as you guys to see like their reasoning behind why they picked Nurse Practitioner as #1. And I'm just gonna give my genuine opinion on like what they say on their website. Let's talk about it. Okay, so let's pull this up real quick. So yeah, US News and World Report Best Jobs of 2026. No single job suits all of us, but many of the best ones have a few attributes in common. They pay well, challenges year after year. Ask for talents and training aren't too stressful, offer room to advance throughout our careers, provide a satisfying work-life balance. Job seekers also often consider whether a position is in demand. US News used these qualities to rank the 100 best jobs of 2026. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so #1, Nurse Practitioner. Projected jobs, 128,400. Median salary, 129,210. That seems about right. Education needed, master's, yeah. Nurse practitioners perform a lot of the same duties as physicians. They perform physical exams, order lab tests, and analyze results, prescribe medications, and authorize treatments. These professionals usually have a specialty such as adult and geriatric health, pediatric health, or mental health, which is what I am. Anyway, I'm actually pretty surprised when I first heard this that nurse practitioner is #1, just because there's so many jobs. So I don't really know why they picked #1 as nurse practitioner, but I guess we'll find out. I'm just curious to see like what they put as #2, #3. Financial manager, #2. Projected jobs, 128,000, roughly the same as nurse practitioner. The salary is higher than nurse practitioner, and the education needed is less than nurse practitioner. So I don't, just based on like this, like it seems kind of weird that they put this one lower than nurse practitioner, seeing as how they make more money and need less education. But I guess we'll see their reasoning when I click read more here. And then #3 of IT manager, less projected jobs, higher salary again, and also less education. Okay, so let's jump into nurse practitioner. Overall score 7.3 out of 10 is the #1 best job. Anyway, #1 in 100 best jobs, #1 in best STEM jobs, #1 in best healthcare jobs. Okay. Nurse practitioners are registered nurses with additional education. Extra schooling allows these healthcare professionals to take patient histories, perform physical exams, order labs, analyze lab results, prescribe medicines, authorize treatment plans, and educate patients and their oh my god, Jesus. And educate patients and their families on continued care. Nurse practitioner, also known as advanced practice registered nurses, specialize in treating specific patient populations, training to work in areas like women's health or pediatrics. They may also work in research or academia. While their job duties sound familiar to a physician's, the main difference is the amount of education required. Physicians have more training in their breadth of knowledge, and their salaries are usually commensurate with their additional work. However, nurse practitioners are increasingly providing primary care to patients. True. Many nurse practitioners first worked as registered nurses, true, where their patient care may have extended to holistic and wellness care. They can bring that background to the diagnosis, treatment, and management of medical issues. Nurse practitioners are handsomely paid for their work. I don't know about handsomely paid, but let's see. With the majority taking home six-figure salaries. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects 40.1% employment growth for nurse practitioners between 2024 and 2034. In that period, an estimated 128,400 jobs should have went up. So I'm only speaking from like my personal experience as like a new-ish grad psych NP in Southern California. It was actually pretty hard to find a job. I mean, in this area, of course. It took me about 6 months to find my first psych NP job. So, and I was like trying pretty damn hard to like apply to everything. So hopefully this 40% one employment growth statistic is actually going to end up being true. Okay, so let's see what else they say. Scorecard, 7.3. Wage potential, 6.9. Yeah, I agree with that. It's not the best. Basically, it's a 7 out of 10. I think like a lot of nurse practitioners, they do the same work for the most part as doctors, but doctors definitely get paid a lot more. So like, yeah, I don't think nurse practitioners are paid enough as they should be. Employment 6.1. I do agree with that too, like a 6 out of 10. Like it's pretty hard to find one, especially in Southern California. But it's kind of odd that they put a 6.1 employment job as the #1 job in America. But anyway, oh, I guess it's this one that matters. Future prospects 9.9. So basically what they're saying is in the next like 8 years, there's going to be a lot more job openings for nurse practitioners. Hopefully this is true because there's a lot of new grad psych NPs. So the psych NP job market in Southern California is becoming really saturated. So hopefully this future prospects thing applies to like maybe the rest of the country or maybe Southern California sooner rather than later. Comfort 5.8. Yeah, I agree with that. Because honestly, it's not very comfortable being a nurse practitioner because you're making so many big decisions for so many patients. You have so much liability. You're always constantly like second guessing yourself on what you should do for your patients. You're always thinking about what you did during work, after work. Like when you get home from work, like, man, did I do the right thing? Or like you're thinking about what's going to happen when you see them next. So yeah, I do agree with the 5.8 on comfort. Work-life balance 5.2, definitely true in my opinion. Like I said, a lot of it you take home with you. Like you can't really leave work at work as much as you want to. Even after you clock out, you're still going to be thinking about your patients after work. So hopefully you have other things to do outside of work to keep that work-life balance. But yeah, it is pretty hard. So I do agree with this 5.2 score. But then again, it's just surprising how all these are like pretty low, but they ranked it as #1 in the job list out of 100. I mean, I'm happy for nurse practitioners, but yeah, I don't really see why they put it as #1. How much does a nurse practitioner make? Median salary 129,000, best paid 25% made 149,000. For psych NPs in Southern California, I would say 149K annual salary is pretty average for like new grads too. Like I see a lot of new grad job openings offer like $70 an hour about. That's roughly about 150K a year almost, you know. But this covers like every specialty of NPs, so generally psych NPs are paid a little bit more than other specialties. So yeah, I can see this being like, you know, pretty accurate. Okay, so job satisfaction. Average Americans work well into their 60s, so workers might as well have a job that's enjoyable and a career that's worth fulfilling. A job of low stress level. I would not consider psych NP low stress level. Good work-life balance. Not really for psych NP either. Solid prospects to improve, get promoted, and earn a higher salary. Would make many employees happy. Yes, that is true. Getting paid much higher would make anyone happy. Here's how nurse practitioners' job satisfaction is rated in terms of upward mobility, stress level, and flexibility. Upward mobility. Opportunities for advancement salary high. I think that's pretty accurate. Like, obviously, when you're a new grad for like any job, you're gonna be much lower in like pay and stuff for everything. Until you get more experience, that's when you can ask for more pay. So I think that is pretty true. My nurse practitioner preceptor told me maybe a year ago that experienced psych NPs nowadays are asking for like $125 an hour, which equates to roughly like $250,000 a year if you're working like 40 hours. So I think this is true. Hopefully I'll get there soon enough. Stress level. Work environment and complexities of the job's responsibilities above average. Definitely above average. Very stressful, especially as a new grad or just being new in general. You have so much to think about, so much responsibility. Anything could go wrong and you could be responsible for that thing going wrong. It's going to be your fault. So yeah, definitely above average stress level. Flexibility. Alternative working schedule and work-life balance average. So this is pretty true, but it's like, I think it's kind of like a one end or the other. Like if you're working as a W-2 job, which means you work like, 40 hours a week, you get benefits, you get paid a set hourly rate. That's like a normal job. But then if you work 1099, which means you're an independent contractor, you get to make your own schedule. That's like amazing for work-life balance because you get to choose when you want to work and work around your home life schedule. But the only thing about that is most 1099 jobs don't offer benefits. So you kind of have to decide, like, do you want to work W-2? Do you want to work 1099? They both come with their own like pros and cons. So flexibility, average, yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so that's the article pretty much. So I am pleasantly surprised to see Nurse Practitioner at number 1 for the 3rd year in a row. But like even reading their whole article and like all their job scores and like job satisfaction scores and that, even compared to like the other top 2 jobs that we just saw, like the median salary is higher for financial assistant and it only requires a bachelor's compared to nurse practitioner who makes less money and requires an advanced degree. I'm still not exactly sold on why nurse practitioner should be number 1. I feel like maybe if our pay was actually higher, we would definitely be up there in the conversation, but I'm not going to argue with it. I'll take it. I'll take the W for our profession. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things that maybe prevent it from being number 1, in my opinion, even though I'm a psych MP. So that was just my opinion and my reaction to that. What are your thoughts on that? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I do videos twice a week on psych nursing stuff. I am also on TikTok and Instagram if you want to follow me over there at the Psych MP David C. I do telehealth medication management for adults living in California. If you're interested in booking with me, there's a link down below. And with that, your mental health just leveled up. You're welcome.